Welcome to the 13th season of Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And we're so excited that you're here tonight as we're back in the studio.
So nice.
It is so much nice. You don't realize how spoiled we are with this studio until you're in a hotel room in the middle of Florida with 0.66 kilobytes of data.
Yeah.
It was very stressful.
And I forget how spoiled I am with having studio lighting and all these things when I have to set up my lights at home and I go, ugh.
And microphones.
Yeah.
You know, those kind of things.
The things that I still haven't taken down from last week's episode because I've just been so tired.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. But it is the beginning of the 13th season of Geeks Corner. You asked me in 2010 when we came up with a crazy idea for having a show called Geeks Corner that we'll get a better name for later.
Still haven't figured out that better name.
Still haven't figured that out. I never would have guessed that in 2022 we'd still be doing this on a weekly basis.
And you know, with this being the 13th season.
Yes.
I have to announce.
Oh no. I'm listening, but what?
This will be my final season.
Oh, okay.
This will be my final season of Geeks Corner.
Cheers. I mean, yeah. Congratulations. Try saying it with a straight face next time.
I couldn't.
Would the follow-up be that for if anybody would like to be the next co-host of Geeks Corner, we're now going to do a new show called Who's the Next Geeks Corner
Oh, that'd
Geek?
be good.
Who's the Next Geek? What
You
would
have
the
a whole season to figure it out.
What would that show be called?
Because
I feel like all sorts of networks
Legally
have done
Blonde,
this.
The Search for Elwood.
Yeah, the Great Geek Search.
Yeah.
I don't know.
mean, what would even the requirements be? Because it's not like the rest of us auditioned. You just went, hey, you.
I mean, honestly, that's
you
it.
want to be in front of a camera?
That's how it works. Is I see people and I'm like, oh, you'd be fun.
Do you know how long it took Mr. Daps to ask me to be on camera?
How long?
It took you like a solid year.
Okay. I thought you were afraid of it too, though.
Why?
Because you would sit down in the front and you would be grinning the entire episode. That's loud. And
I'm so sorry.
yeah. But every time I would mention you, you'd get all bashful and scared.
Well, yeah.
There you go.
You're famous.
Right. All right. Well, if you have any traveling coming up at a Disney park, please use Mouseways Travel. You can do that by mouseways.com/dapsmagic. And the Great Geek Caper, that'd be good. Mouseways.com/dapsmagic. And as you get your travel taken care of, you also be taking care of Daps Magic and Geeks Corner and helping us stay on the air. All good things.
For 13 more seasons, baby.
You never know.
If you're lucky.
Yes. One of the things we're reminded of as we were going through our last 13 seasons, 12 seasons, I don't know how to do the math for this.
So last Wednesday, we hit our 12th anniversary. So
Okay.
it has been 12 years.
And we're starting our 13th season.
We're starting the 13th season.
Got it.
And I'm sure you've all heard this story. But
So 12th anniversary, 13th season.
yes, because Johnny 5 did the season 0 type of thing,
And it messed up my brain.
which Mr. Daps does not understand.
No.
And it's kind of too late to redo it. So
I think we actually did redo it, which is the weird thing. But
we kind of redid it. That was
yeah,
with
we
the
skipped a season,
numbering.
right?
I don't know.
The good thing is we're just numeric now. So I think we're episode 629 off the top of my head.
24.
No, I'm pretty sure it's 29. Yep, it's
Oh
29.
wow, 129, 629.
Yeah. I've been following these things.
Wow.
But I think that one, the first episode number might be wrong. But
Sure. I don't know.
we're looking at a show Bible. But
We
before
have
we get,
a Daps Bible.
yes, that was one of the things Johnny insisted on when we started. But Clocky is playing a game as we do this show. And that is, he is on the Disneyland Railroad.
Mm-hmm.
And he started at Toontown Station, basically right as the show started. And we're going to see how many stops it takes for him to get through the show.
Tomorrowland Station is where he was when it
Oh,
started.
Tomorrowland. Sorry, I can't read very
Okay.
well.
The thing
That's
that,
weird when you see it and I don't.
yeah, I have way worse eyesight than this man.
Yeah.
It's amazing that I can read anything, especially because I'm needing to wear my glasses
Reading.
lately. Now that I'm a big girl on my own eyeglasses insurance, I should probably go get my glasses. Anywho, I do think it's very funny that Clocky said that one of my cardinal rules is do not triangulate your location. And I know that you're doing it anyway, but you at least know that I say not to triangulate a location. So
But now we know he's on the train.
I've gotten through. Well, yes, and he's leaving Tomorrowland Station as of 10 minutes ago.
But he didn't tell us what train he's on. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Well,
I want to know what train.
Looking at the last 13 years, one of the things we realized is we have a staff here. We have a great staff here. They're over there. They're watching.
Oh, yeah.
Ted, Larry,
Yeah.
Harry, Larry. I don't know what he wants to be called.
I don't know
I
either.
don't know.
I should ask him.
We're missing one. I don't know where he went. But anyway, they came
Break.
together. Huh? Sebi.
Break.
Do you see Sebi? I don't see
No.
Sebi.
Sebi's usually grumbling about
That
something.
concerns me a little bit. When you can't find Sebi, something's going on. Anyway, these interns are wonderful penguins. I almost said people. Now Clocky's at Main Street.
On
And,
what train?
And they've been with us since the beginning. They get a lot of work done. They
Longer than
make
me.
sure things are happening. They make sure the details work. When the audio doesn't work, that's them. When
not us.
When the audio does work,
It's us.
well, it's also them. Like
It was a joke.
Harry Larry, it turns out, is a good sound tech.
Ba-doom-tsh.
But
He's taken on a lot of work since he got hired a couple years ago.
shockingly enough,
I'm really glad that
and he's
that-
relatively competent, which is
That-
shocking
Well,
also.
'cause, you know, he was applying for jobs. I'm really glad that we took him as an intern.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out for him.
Who knew throw him in a corner was going to keep him happy? Anyway, Harry Larry,
Yeah.
bless his heart,
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wanted to help us celebrate the 13th season of GEEKS Corner.
Last time he did this, he wrote a song.
That's what he did.
Oh, okay.
Harry Larry wrote a song, and I'm just gonna. I gave him the studio, let him do his thing, and
I'm sure it's great.
this is what we got.
Hello, buddy pals. It's me, Harry Larry, your very favorite penguin intern at Daps Magic and GEEKS Corner. I thought since GEEKS Corner was starting its 13th anniversary, it would be only appropriate for me to write a song. With that in mind, I hope you enjoy my song called When You're a Teenager. Geek out! You're 13 now, which means you're one more than 12. Life is all in flux and everything just went to, well, the world becomes brand new, even though it's still the same, and everything is gonna change. Do you know why? 'Cause you're a teenager. When you're a teenager, all you want is to get out. When you're a teenager, gotta get that garbage out. When you're a teenager, everybody else is wrong. You can do anything, you're invincible, and you are strong. You know why? 'Cause you're a teenager. You're 13 now, which means you can see more than just PG. You go to a movie and see things you've never seen. Now there is more homework, even though in the same grade, but everything is gonna change. You know why? 'Cause you're a teenager. When you're a teenager, all you want is to get out. When you're a teenager, gotta get that garbage out. When you're a teenager, everybody else is wrong. You can do anything, you're invincible, and you are strong. You know why? 'Cause you're a teenager. You can't drive, you can't drink, you can't even vote. You can't be out late at night or move out of home. But through it all, you know somehow it won't be very long until you can go off in song. 'Cause you're a teenager. When you're a teenager, all you want is to get out. When you're a teenager, gotta get that garbage out. When you're a teenager, everybody else is wrong. You can do anything, you're invincible, and you are strong. You know why? 'Cause you're a teenager. 'Cause you're a teenager. 'Cause you're a teenager. 'Cause you're a teenager. Happy becoming a teenager, Geeks Corner. I really hope you enjoy your 13th season. I know it's gonna be great. Geek out.
Two interesting things.
Yeah.
One,
One.
is Geeks Corner technically a teenager?
No,
Okay.
because it just hit its 12th anniversary. But
Two, he said geek out.
yeah.
I think you're in trouble. He's already applying.
Oh no.
Did you talk to him before you
No,
said this on the show? Because I feel like
I was keeping that reveal to myself.
apparently you didn't, because he'd figured it out.
Maybe he's just been coming for my job the whole time.
Maybe he's doing the thing where, like, maybe he's going through your phone and having, like, at night it say, you know, where it talks in your sleep. And then,
it like subconsciously.
yes, I'm betting he's doing that.
He's like, you should leave Geeks Corner.
Anyway.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's good for him though. He did a great job. He edited it himself and everything.
Clearly.
Good for him.
I'm very impressed. Clocky is now at New Orleans Square. So and it's raining on the Ernest S. Marsh.
Wow.
Very good train. Actually, I think we need to get that.
Not this again.
We need to get that whistle.
Okay. Get that whistle.
Get that whistle. All right.
It's like
so
when you get in a taxi and you go, follow that car.
This is just a tease. I'm thinking tonight, this might need to come out again. No? Okay, I'll put it away. I thought people would like it, but you know, that was just my idea.
People or
Buddy pals.
people?
All the above. All right, let's move on to the show. The Disneyland Resort is beginning its celebration of the Walt Disney Company hitting 100 years, which they're calling Disney 100, on January 27th of 2023. In fact, this will kick off the entire celebration from across the Walt Disney Company. And we learned this week about a few of the things that are going to happen for this. We learned that the castle is going to be decorated.
Yeah.
We learned there's new fireworks coming. Magic Happens is coming back.
Yay!
Mickey and Minnie are getting new outfits. There's going to be new merchandise. There's going to be a new World of Color. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Oh, Runaway Railway is opening on the 27th as well at Mickey's Toontown, although Mickey's Toontown will not be opened at the same time. But there's a lot going on. What are you most excited about for Disney 100 at Disneyland?
Magic Happens.
Okay.
We don't have a date for Magic Happens. It just says it'll be open before spring. I love Magic.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means. I love Magic Happens. One of my very sad pre-pandemic tweets, and like when I say pre-pandemic, I mean 3-4 days before the Disneyland Resort closed.
Okay.
I tweeted something about like, oh, this weather's great. I just want to take my camera in and watch Magic Happens.
So it was your fault.
And obviously that did not
So the world shut down because of your tweet.
Also, it rained out the last couple performances of Magic Happens.
That is true.
Yeah.
In fact, Jenny and I were there on the last day that we thought, hey, we're going to watch a cavalcade.
Yeah. So a lot of things are my fault. But yes.
Okay, so Magic Happens. Huh?
Magic Happens. I love it a lot. And I think there's going to be a very weird... not like feeling of normalcy, but it is one, like that and Pixar Night are my two strongest Disney memories from before the shutdown. And I think it's going to...
Like right before, not just before, but
like literally like
days.
the week leading up to.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to bring up some really weird emotions for me, especially with the fact that parade only ran...
Couple weeks.
2 weeks.
Yep.
And when you take out the performances where it got rained out and all those things... It didn't have a very long life.
Well, and I think it'll be interesting because I am making the prediction that there will be some level of change coming to Magic Happens.
I would guess.
there's nothing more consistent about Disney than change.
Just don't touch Merlin.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if we get many of those foundational moments. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the incidental things, like in front of Merlin, didn't they have like Tinkerbell and a bunch of characters?
Yeah, the finale unit had...
I could see that being updated, perhaps.
Also, don't touch Tinkerbell, because her throwing glitter is one of my favorite parts of it.
It's very cute.
Like, her just throwing glitter at kids, one of my favorite parts.
Magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the reason why that finale unit is my ringtone still 2.5 years later.
Good job.
Thanks.
No, I think it'll be interesting just to see what exactly it looks like. You know, maybe there'll be costume updates. Maybe there'll be music updates. Yeah. Those kinds of things tend to happen with Disney.
Yeah.
And that's actually a good thing. I was thinking the other day about how excited everybody is that Werewolf and Elsa,
Blood something.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Are at
I'm so sorry. This is your movie, and I don't know.
At Disney California Adventure. But think of how Avengers Campus, everybody is stoked all the time for the change that's constantly happening there. And yes, Moon Knight has gone away. Yes, it appears that Wanda has gone away. These things have changed and come and gone, and people are just embracing it and loving it because it's a regular thing. And that's kind of weird for Disney fans, one. But two, I think it just brings to life that area of the park that much more. And then I started thinking of, we got an article coming up very soon that's going to be a pictorial look at first Tokyo Disneyland, and then second Tokyo Disney Sea. And I was realizing how often they change their parades and update them. And I was like, I don't know that it's necessarily a bad thing for Disney to change things regularly. In fact, maybe they need to update Fantasmic more often. Maybe they need to update fireworks more often.
Yeah.
Just because I think it would help get people used to the change and excited for the change and coming back over and over again. So one of the things that's changing is we're getting a new fireworks show called Wondrous Journeys. We heard the song at D23 Expo.
It's wondrous.
It's cute. Like, it's pretty. I don't know what the final...
That's what the song is called.
Yes. I don't know what the final version will sound like on the firework show presentation, whatever it is. But
because we also...
Jeff thinks that Harry Larry should be helping with the music. I like this idea.
He sure should.
As long as Daps Magic gets included in the credits somehow. I don't know.
Was it Magic Happens that we heard at the last expo? We heard something.
Yeah, we heard Magic Happens.
I was going to say, I remember...
Because they did the big... they had the people come out on the stage and dance to it.
Yeah, but that was a different version than what we ended up hearing.
It was very similar, though, actually.
I'm so confused. I thought there was something else.
I think we have it in a video. We should go look at some point.
We should go look.
We're also getting World of Color 1, which, honestly, I'm almost more excited about that than I am the fireworks.
I love World of Color, so I'm happy.
I think World of Color 2 is a show that's very conducive for being updated and changed on a regular basis. And I love how they've done that through the years for the holidays, because we've had 2 holiday versions, and both of them are fun. Like, one was gorgeous, the other one's fun. And I think it'll be fun to see, and we got the 60th version of World of Color. So I think it'll be fun to see World of Color 1, and I'm just curious to see what it's going to be like, and I can't wait. And the only hard part was going to be that weekend seeing everything.
Yeah. Need to request that weekend off already.
Yep. And reservations aren't available yet.
I thought they opened up today.
They opened up you can buy tickets for that weekend, but the AP or Magic Key aren't there yet.
AP branding. Anyway.
You know, that thing.
I mean, we're still DAP, so it's fine. What I think is interesting, and I don't want to critique the Walt Disney Company, but I'm going to critique the Walt Disney Company. When you make one resort the epicenter of your 100th anniversary.
And it's Disneyland.
Good
choice.
People are now convinced that Disneyland is turning 100 next year.
I do think that is funny. I've seen that on Twitter.
I've seen it on TikTok.
Yeah.
I literally watched a TikTok of a girl saying, You know, I'm making this whole plan so that me and my family can celebrate Disneyland's 100th anniversary. And I was like, oh my God, it's already happening. I thought this was a joke. People really think this. And then her top pinned comment was
Maybe we should make a PSA.
But I think that when you're decorating Sleeping Beauty Castle and you're putting a 100 on it and you're putting the 3 good fairies, I think when you're, when you're doing all these things, guests are going to naturally go, oh wow, Disney, like, I really want to that weekend. I know we're going to be busy, but I would love that weekend to just sit in front of the castle and
you know, it'll happen.
And listen to people go, wow, 100 years. That's great.
You're not even have to do it that weekend. I bet you could do it the entire celebration.
Oh,
You're going to
100%.
like, it's not going to be a
I just
weekend
think that
thing.
first weekend would be
It's
really
going to be a
fun.
continuation through the entire celebration, however long that lasts.
I think it's going to be fun. I'm not disparaging guests that do think it's Disneyland's 100th anniversary. Like, that's what I would think if I was not more in tune with gestures wildly, all of this.
It'll be interesting to see how many people actually do that, though, because I do think the Disney company generally does a pretty good job of saying, hey, this is what we're celebrating, and they're going to throw it everywhere. They're going to be like, this is Disney's, and I think the challenge is going to be is people are going to say, hey, this is Disney's 100th, and they're going to equate Disney with Disneyland and just cram the two
They're
together.
the same thing. I do think I'm excited for the fountains in the
I think
castle.
that's what I'm most excited for. I'm super excited for that.
It's going to be beautiful. Although I will say, someone that we know said that they wanted the swans back in the moat,
That could
and
be a
I'm
problem.
so scared of swans.
I would love the swans back.
I'm not kidding. I'm so scared.
Can you imagine how pretty it would be, though, swans
I'm scared
swimming
of
around a
swans.
fountain?
I'm scared
It'd be
of
gorgeous.
geese. I'm scared of turkey. I'm scared of a lot of birds.
What about ducks?
I actually am a little afraid of ducks. If
I
they
had
get,
a pet duck named Chester as a kid.
If they get too close to me,
He
at
would
Disney-
follow me around.
If they get too close to me at Disneyland, I pick up my feet because I'm afraid they're gonna bite me.
Okay.
They might think it's food.
Okay.
They might go.
All right. Well, I'm excited
scared
for
of
the fountains. I
birds.
don't think we're going to get swans back
I don't think so
anytime,
either. I
if
just wanted to
not
talk
ever.
about my fears.
It would be amazing, though. Speaking of Disneyland,
What's Disneyland?
I don't know. But they also announced today that their prices have gone up, effective immediately. I've actually been surprised it didn't take this long. I was expecting it to be this spring, basically a year after Disneyland reopened. And we don't have a ton to say about this, but I will get myself in trouble by saying, did you see how busy Disneyland was last weekend?
Yes.
At the end of the day, the park is busy. Both parks are busy.
Yes.
DCA was busy both for its normal day and then for Oogie Boogie, which sold out before you could even blink, it seemed like.
Sure.
If you want prices to stop going up, stop going.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the end of it. Like, I think it's still a value. I think of how much I've spent on Paul McCartney. I think of how much I see people spend on football games and parking for football games, which is almost as much as going to Disneyland for a day. Like, I've got a friend that spends $100 to park so he can go see a Chargers game. $4 more would be a Tier 0 now day at Disneyland.
The only thing I have an issue with.
I'm listening.
Only thing.
The valet
listen.
parking?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Sorry, I was being facetious.
Price increases are natural if you are not expecting them with Disney parks by now. I don't know what to tell you. Like, the only absolutes in life are death, taxes, and price increases at Disneyland.
Completely agree.
I have a problem with 7 tiers.
I actually agree with that.
7?
It's very confusing.
Like, tier 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Well, and I was looking at pricing for children as I was building the article today, and it's not readily apparent, like, children prices for the tiers. So I had to go through the month, like multiple months, to find different tiers and correlate them with the adult tiers, and that was fun.
This is why it is so hard.
But I do think simple is hard, and
agree.
simple is where success happens. And I do think there is a challenge with 7 tiers. I agree.
No, so that is my hang up.
If it was 3, I'd be fine.
Yeah, that's my hang up is 7 tiers.
Yep.
3, I understand, because 3 tiers, it's not busy, moderately busy, very busy.
Yep.
Like, that makes sense to me. But 7?
It-
And a tier 0?
Well, because I actually think somebody said, hey, 7 doesn't look good on the graphic. We should just move it to 0.
I don't like that.
I don't know. That's what I would do, honestly, because I think 7 didn't look nice as I was putting
I like
things
even
together.
numbers, so.
Yeah. So I could see that. And I don't actually have any issue with the pricing. I do think there is an issue with it getting very complicated to figure out how to go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And I actually think you could charge more and make it simpler, and people would be happier.
I agree.
Just because I think when you have 7 tiers, you have to make sure you know the reservation thing. You have to...
That's 100% the other aspect I'm coming from is it is way too hard. You have to buy Genie Plus day of. You have to have a
No,
reservation.
you have to buy it ahead now if you want the locked-in price, because now it's going to be $25, unless it's the day of, because then it's going to be variable.
Yes.
Which, that one I'm okay with.
Sure. You want a fast pass. I know it's not called a fast pass, but you want a fast pass, whatever. There's a premium for it, sure. But you have to have that. You have to have a reservation. You have to make sure, like, I'm even seeing people that I know that are Disneyland regulars that don't have passes, but they're out-of-state regulars that they're even forgetting to get reservations. Like, these are the things that you can't be incredibly expensive and be incredibly complicated, because then that's just an unsatisfactory.
Well, I'm sure the
outcome.
data's out there somewhere, but I'd be curious if you raise the price by, say, another 9 or 10%. I think 9% was the average of all of the price increases today. I'd be curious if you could raise them another 9%, which people would hate, but cut back how many tiers?
Sure.
Like, keep reservations, keep tiers, keep them simpler, everything else the same.
Sure.
I think you would have a higher guest satisfaction rate. I think in general, the world would be like, oh, okay, this makes sense, as opposed to it's overcomplicated and it's overexpensive. And I think the expense becomes more of a big deal when it's overcomplicated.
I agree.
And that's a challenge. And even for us that, we don't get hit by the tiers because we get the magic key with its own set of tiers. But I was telling you even on Sunday, it's like every time I go into the park the first time of the day, I have this moment of like, I know I got the reservation. I know, like, I checked 3 or 4 times before I show up because I'm a little bit compulsive like that. And I still have this moment of sweating it out as we're walking up to the gate of like, I hope this works.
Oh, same.
I hope something didn't go wrong.
Yeah.
And that's, from a hospitality standpoint, a very different feeling that I think Disney wants us to have.
I agree.
And I hope that's something they realize at some point. But it'll be interesting to see. It was interesting also going back to Florida last week, since I'm still halfway on that time zone. I was very, very, very impressed by the hospitality that I felt in Florida on a regular basis, whether it was security, whether it was main gate, whether it was restaurants, attractions. Like, I hat tip to all the Floridian cast members, because right after a hurricane, they were the most hospitable people. I can't tell you how many conversations I had with security as they were checking my bags of talking about photography and what cameras they want and whatever. But fantastic job. And I think at the end of the day, Disney's in the hospitality business. And so that's where I think the challenge of these complications become an issue.
Sorry, I heard a noise and now I'm scared.
I know. I didn't close the gate. Okay.
Sorry, that whole time I realized I looked really concerned.
Yeah, I was like, you looked really upset with me.
Yeah.
Bailey's saying she also wants Walt Disney World Security.
Also, welcome home.
Yep.
Welcome back to the West
I
Coast.
said that in the chat.
I know. Walt Disney World Security is better.
This show's going to be a little bit long tonight because it is an anniversary show. But before we go any further, unfortunately, we have sad news, and that is that Disney legend Angela Lansbury has died at the age of 96. Yes.
Angela
I had the opportunity to do a special event with her with Mary Poppins Returns 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. And absolutely incredible event. We got about a half an hour with her, I think. And I remember walking away thinking what a kind person she was, what a really hard worker she was, and how she just didn't have the ego or the, hey, look at me celebrity thing going on. And so it looks like for the show, by the way, Clocky made it all the way around to Tomorrowland Station. So we'll see how far he goes with Geeks Corner Plus. But I thought I would share with you, there was one moment during our interview, it was a group interview with Angela Lansbury that we got to experience. And she talked about her career in working on Mary Poppins Returns. And it hit me, and I hope it hits you the same way. So enjoy this.
Well, think of some of the people that I've looked inside in the course of my career. Make your hair stand on end. But obviously, to play a role in which I'm working with children or for children, to make them feel comfortable and happy, certainly that's something as a mother and as a woman I'm anxious to do. And in some instances I've had an opportunity, a couple of opportunities, and mainly through Disney. And I'm so thankful for that, because otherwise, if you think of my career, what I've done in the past, and who I've played, and what I've been asked to do as an actress on screen, think of a Manchurian Candidate, for instance, or something like that. So
that needs a round of applause.
Yeah.
Because Manchurian Candidate is one of the most extraordinary films, and your work in that is so extraordinary. She was Oscar nominated for that.
Well, listen, what am I? I am an actress. You can't believe a word I'm saying. But I'm called upon as an actress to play such a variety of roles. But that's what I do, and that's what I was given. I have a God-given talent as an actress. I'm not saying I don't, because I really do, and I know that. And not with any sense of accomplishment necessarily. It was just something that I was born with, and I'm forever thankful, and I thank God every night for it, and for an extraordinarily fruitful career playing so many different things. But working in a Disney film is something totally apart and different from any other roles that I've ever played, because it requires a simplicity and a warmth and a humanity that doesn't really exist in most shows that I've done over the years, and there have been a lot of them, as you know. But so it's a rarity to have the opportunity as an actress to be in a Disney film. And I'll play anything. Just call me up, ask me, I'll be there. So, because I love to work for children and kids, thank goodness. They will greet me on the street, and they hear my voice, and they'll say, "Oh, it's Mrs. Potts," And God help me that I sound like Mrs. Potts all the time, but apparently I do. It's the, as we call it, the timbre of my voice. And I'm very grateful and thrilled that I had that opportunity during the long, long course of my career. It's really been wonderful.
And that was such a special moment. And there were other moments in that interview, and you can catch it on the article. But I loved how humble she is through this, and how she's very grateful to Disney for parts of her career. And she just, like, the humility and the kindness is really what popped out at me as we got to sit there and chat with her on a wonderful afternoon in, I think it was March or something of 2019. And it's such a sad loss for the Disney community, but also the Broadway community and Hollywood in general, because I feel like if there was more stars like her, Hollywood would be such a better place, and maybe Adam wouldn't be so scared of it. Favorite Angela Lansbury role?
I know it's small, but her role in Mary Poppins Returns is so sweet.
Okay.
And I think it sums her up very well. Obviously, Mrs. Potts is one that...
Yeah, I almost feel like you can't answer Mrs. Potts.
Yeah, it's what besides Mrs. Potts is your favorite?
Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
I love
Absolutely
Bed Knobs and
amazing.
Broomsticks.
Such a great show, and
It was also kind of crazy at work today. I was like naming so many things that she's done, and it's like she's done so much. Like if Disney isn't your thing, then it's Murder, She Wrote, and it's like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
She's been everywhere.
I would like to formally announce how I found out she passed away.
Before you do that,
Yeah.
her last movie appearance is in Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery that Roger's telling us is coming to Netflix on December 23rd. So
I love the Knives
definitely
Out.
we'll have to watch that.
I love
All right,
Knives
how
Out.
did you find out about?
So, I am a pest, and one of my favorite things to do when I am working at Starbucks Coffee Company is walk up to Mr. Daps as he's working and just start saying nonsense to him. It's my favorite activity. So I went to walk up to Mr. Daps to start bothering him with something that did not matter. And I walk up and I go, hee, doing my little jaunt. And then I looked at his laptop and all I see is the headline, Angela Lansbury passes away. And I literally went, oh. And then he takes out a headphone. He goes, yeah, I texted you. And I went, I didn't see it. I'm working. And he went, I need to write this. And put his headphone back in. And I literally went, oh. And then I turned around and I was like, guys, Angela Lansbury died. And then somebody went, who? To which that's why I listed off her filmography.
Shame on them.
It was just a little bit of a funny moment of me going, I'm sorry, what now?
Yep.
Yeah.
But she died in her sleep, and that's.
And she lived a very successful, fruitful life.
And I think it was 5 days short of her 97th birthday, which
Her birthday
is
is the 16th.
incredible. And I feel like we should have a movie watch or something in the next month or two for Bed Knobs and Broomsticks again or something. But yeah, she will be missed, but also thankful for what she's brought to the world and the time that she had with it.
Yeah.
And in that much time. And for the opportunity, thank you, Disney, for inviting me to that Mary Poppins Returns event and get to be face-to-face with a Disney legend like her, which really, there's few people in my list that are at that level, I guess you could say, of incredible. And she's definitely there.
She's incredibly iconic. And I think there's also sometimes celebrities, especially when they have that illustrious of a career, that they, I don't want to say get jaded, but they sometimes kind of take for granted their celebrity.
Yep.
And they're kind of like, oh yeah, whatever, like Beauty and the Beast was a kid's movie. And I think
But she was everything you'd hope she would be.
She kind of was Mrs. Potts
Yep.
of this like loving, nurturing, take you under your wing kind of person. And that is also really incredible to see someone that you have these fond feelings for, and parasocial relationships, whatever. But when you see someone in those types of roles so often, when they are not that in person, it can be very jarring.
Well, and I think that's one of the perks, and not always the perks, of being who I am and getting the experiences that I am, is you get to see people up close and personal.
Yeah.
And quite often, though, I will say, like Richard Sherman's popping to mind also, that they're everything you would hope they would be. And I love, like, as I'm thinking of Disney legends I've met through the years, I'm like, most of them I've been really, really impressed of, like, hey, you're amazing.
They earn their legend status.
You are a legend, whether it's Disney or not.
And I will say, not a Disney legend yet, but Brett Iwan, the official voice of Mickey Mouse.
We got to get him back on the show.
Brett,
you need to come back on the show.
But genuinely,
I'll let you sit right here.
That's fine. I'll move. Genuinely, such a kind human being. Yep. I could go on and on about literally all the kindness that Brett Iwan has shown. But it's kind of this incredible thing of like, wait, you're Mickey Mouse.
But you're just a nice guy.
But you're also just like a really nice guy that
and
has
Caitlin
really cool...
Robrock and Bill Farmer
and
so
all
many of
these
those
people that are like, you meet them and they're so incredibly warm and kind and all these things.
Yep.
Yeah, especially when it's like Mickey and the Gang or like like these animated characters that bring you so much happiness.
Yep.
For them to be the same thing in real life is really nice.
So our hearts and our condolences go out to the family of Angela Lansbury, and let's keep watching our movies, and who knows, maybe we watch Bed Knobs and Broomsticks enough on Disney Plus, something will end up in the parks, because apparently that's a thing.
That's how it works.
All right, last topic of the night, Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock holiday special is coming to Apple TV Plus, which we don't talk about Apple TV Plus very often. But
we're both Apple TV lovers.
but I'm excited for this.
I've never seen Fraggle Rock.
You need to watch both the original and the redo, because it's amazing. So this is going to be, they're celebrating the Night of the Lights,
Okay.
whatever that means. And
Daveed Diggs is going to be in it? Mm-hmm. Wow. I love him.
yeah, it's going to be a great show. I don't know that much about it because they really didn't tell us that much, other than they're celebrating their big holiday, which is Night of the Lights, and they're going to go on an adventure to find the brightest light, of course, because that's what Fraggles do. And along the way, they might find the true meaning of the holiday, which I'm sure has to do with something about those who are special to you and coming together.
Something that I really love, we talk about it a lot to the point that you would think we're sponsored, but we're not.
We are not.
I love that you didn't even know what I was about to say, and you're like,
'Cause
we're not sponsored.
We're not sponsored, so if you'd like to sponsor us, reach out.
Especially Below the Frame with Matt Vogel.
Yeah.
Below the Frame with Matt Vogel, there is an episode with John Tartaglia.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about Johnny and the Sprites, which was a great Disney Channel show, if you're not familiar. He talks about Fraggles. John Tartaglia talks about so many things, and that episode specifically was so impactful on me, just as a leader, because there's a specific part where he talks about this letter he wrote to Jim Henson and how he cherished it for like literally his entire career until he grew up to be a puppeteer. But that was what really inspired me to want to watch Fraggles, and I just haven't.
You have Apple TV Plus. You
I do, but then I
watch an
spend
episode
it
tonight.
watching Ted Lasso.
Watch an episode of Fraggle Rock tonight. It is charming. It is fun. It is funny.
Okay, I will let you pick which Fraggle I'm watching. Is the other one on HBO Max?
Just watch the first one of the reboot. It's fine.
The first one of the reboot? Okay, because I also have HBO Max.
Yeah, but I'm thinking if you watch Back to the Rock, it'll prep you for this when it comes out on November 18th,
Sure,
I think.
I will commit to one episode of Back to the Rock tonight.
And they're short.
Okay.
And Clocky is saying there's a problem on the train. I don't know where he is.
Problem
But
on the train.
You know what solves problems?
Oh no.
Mandolins. Bamboo fell. We'll see if he gets to go any further. You know what I think we should do while we wait? Play an out-of-tune mandolin. You would not believe I tuned this right before the show.
You would not believe it.
I spent like 5 minutes tuning to make sure it sounded good, and
I believe it.
it does not. It's terrible now. I'm sorry. But since it is the beginning of the 13th season, I feel like we should definitely do a little of this, don't you? Everybody wants to hear this song. Everybody wants it stuck in their head for the next 6 years. Maybe
6
even
years?
12 years. Who knows? I don't remember when we first did this. You ready?
No.
You're not going to do anything, are you?
Nope.
Okay. Mandolin. Sure don't want to help. Mandolin. 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 Mandolin.
I know.
Say it right now.
No. That's worse.
Mandolin.
I'm quitting.
Mandolin.
This really is my last season.
Mandolin. Mandolin. Want to say it last one? Mandolin. Mandolin. That was the worst rendition of that ever, and I'm so sorry. All right, Katie. As we kick off the 13th season of Geeks Corner, what should people do?
Go to dapsmagic.com, check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens, subscribe to our mailing list, and find our Patreon.
That is right. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got a bunch of Walt Disney World videos continuing to go up, and we'll have more Halloween videos, holiday videos coming up very soon, including Fat Cat Swinger, which will be returning to the Festival of Holidays. Before we leave, though, we have one more surprise. Thank you, Katie,
Like
for
that I
remembering.
literally was gesturing to it for a solid. Like,
We have a good friend who is
minutes?
from Singapore and is visiting, and we hung out with on Sunday. And he brought us something. Whoops.
That's yours.
Thank you. You know it's mine because it says Mr. Daps.
It does say Mr. Daps.
And it is from Singapore. A been there. Is it still been there?
Yeah.
You
no,
are
this
here.
is a You Are Here.
You Are
the
Here mug.
original.
Beautiful.
They don't make them like this anymore.
Going slow.
It's very beautiful.
Oh, this is cool because they're different too.
Oh,
Yours
that's
has,
been there.
What's yours say? No, mine says You Are Here too. But
What?
they have different things on them. So slowly, front, side, back.
Beautiful. I love it.
That is awesome. So I think we
I'm a-
should use these next week,
Yeah.
which we should note that next week the set will be decorated for Halloween because we are already late on that as well. But that is all the time we have for you this week. Thank you so much for the mugs, and we will see you round the corner.
Bye.